everyone, my name is Kalea Widyadhana. I'm a part of Group 3 of Class AB, and for today's video, we will dive deep into a topic discussion about peer pressure. So, right here I have one of Universitas Indonesia's civil engineering students who will be joining us for today's interview. So, please, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Zara. You can call me Rooney. I am from Universitas Indonesia's Civil Engineering year 25.
I'm so glad to have you here, Rooney, and I would like to thank you for taking the time to do this interview with me today. Firstly, I would like to know, how are things as a civil engineering student?
It's still like the first year. I haven't seen anything that crazy yet, but there are some ups and downs. Well, obviously, the transition between high school and university is a little bit rough. So I'm doing okay.
Right now, you're doing okay.
Yes.
All right, that's amazing. Is there anything that you have in your mind right now about your studies academically and from an academic view?
My studies so far, I would say they're like meh. I would give it like a 5 or a 4 out of 10 low key, because I've been procrastinating a lot. That's very unfortunate. Never procrastinate on anything else. The deadlines, they sneak up on you. This habit was like it's like a really bad habit when I was in high school, so it stuck to me, and I have to find a way to like cope with this bad habit.
Okay, so things may not sound that great from an academic view, but what about your friendships? Have you found your people?
I would like to say that I'm very grateful that in my department, specifically in civil engineering, a lot of the people there are very nice. They're very friendly, and when it was like the first day of class, someone was asking like, "Oh, can I sit with you?" And then like I've been stuck to that person and their friends all year, and I'm very grateful that they're open for me to like have study groups, study sessions together, which is amazing. I love them.
Is it always a smooth process for you to find, the people that you're comfortable hanging out with?
Not really, low-key. Like before I got into university, like in high school or in middle school, I wasn't really open to being friends with anyone, not because of anything. It was just like I didn't know how to approach people back then, and yeah, I would just wait to like someone to talk to me, which didn't really do anything good, because like if you want something, you gotta like do it by yourself, you know.
Totally understand that, for sure. Are there any moments, in university or maybe from past experience that you felt like you need to do something in order to make other people feel happy, or need to make yourself fit into that clique or group?
Back then, yeah, I was like a big people pleaser in high school. Like if someone didn't like A, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't like A too, even though in secret I did really like A, and I just was too embarrassed to admit it, like I didn't really want to be ostracized or discriminated against because of my likings and my hobbies.
Right. So are you the kind of person that we're still friends with the people that you don't find like they match your energy, or are you the type of person that would fully cut them off and have no interactions at all when you know that you have nothing in common with them?
It kind of depends. Like if I don't really have anything in common with this person, but I can still talk to them. Like I can still make small talk. Like, oh, how was your test? Did you understand this? It's like a little bit more of an academic friend. But if like I can't really make small talk with this person, like they're not really reciprocating what I'm saying, like I would just not really interact with them, because like that's just not my vibe.
Okay, so you're the type of person that if you don't have anything to do with them, why would you give your energy and time for them, right?
Yeah.
You just decide to be with the people that that you're comfortable with, right? These answers actually support the definition of what peer pressure is. Well, according to Cambridge Dictionary, which is the pressure that you feel to behave in a certain way because your friends or the people your group expect it. So, since you know that what peer pressure is, are you aware? Are you aware most of the times when you struggle to fit in a situation where you struggle to fit in?
Yeah, I would be like a little bit too aware where it comes to the point like I'm very anxious to interact with them because I'm scared like, oh, you see me as a big loser or something. Yeah, that was like back in high school.
So there's like this fear, right, of how others picture you. From then, how important are friends to you, based on that experience that you've felt?
I would say they're very important because my friends specifically right now, they provide me like really good emotional support and academic support. Like if I ever have problems with a certain material, they would be like they're very open to like teach me and like help me with this material. I'm very grateful for that, and yeah, I just love my friends.
Are they like like everything to you? And say if you haven't met your people yet right now, would you think like I need friends in order to survive university, or are you okay with the fact that you don't have like a group that you're stuck with, but you just know a few people around you?
Well, I would say that having friends is a little bit important in university because yeah, you need like a lot of connections. They would be able to like help you, especially like if these friends are also really close with our seniors. They'd give like past assignments or like past tests for us to practice, which is very important.
Right.
Personally.
Okay. But I would like to know your opinion. I don't know if you have heard of this quote that goes a little like, I am a part of all that I have met. What that quote meant, or how people interpret it, is you have people around you and you hang out with those people, right? So do you ever think that maybe knowing those people shapes your personality? Like let's say friend A has a funny personality, or maybe she's I don't know, quirky, and then a friend B, she's quite bossy, and then you somehow made a conclusion that you are a mix of those friends, of those two person that you hang out with, or you're just always or the people that you are close with.
I wouldn't. I kind of agree on the quote that my environment shapes me as a person because my environment was like I was a really introverted and shy kid back then. I'm still a little bit shy, but my friends kind of like helped me get out of that shyness. They made me a little bit more open with myself and all of that. So I think I'm a little bit lucky to have those type of friends because I didn't really like approach them 1st. They merely just like adopted me. So
do you have friends that there's a certain characteristic that you don't like, that you dislike, but at some point that they also make you happy and make you want to stay? Do you have like that kind of like a dilemma to kind of want to drift away from them, but also you kind of want to be with them? How do you respond to that situation? Have you ever been in that situation before?
I have kind of where I secretly like their actions kind of annoyed me, but I didn't really like tell them or anything, and then it just became like resentment, built up resentment throughout the years. Yeah, I have had that, and the way I responded was low-key like ghosting them. Like I just drifted off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just decided to drift off instead of staying.
Confront, yeah.
Okay. Or maybe confronting them. Okay. That's totally okay. And to summarize, I would like to, maybe you can state a bit of what is your definition of an ideal, or maybe like a healthy relationship between friends. What would you want your friends to be, or what kind of people you want to be around with?
I like to be around with people who are very like understanding and probably like open-minded, and they just, I don't know, like they just gotta match the vibe, and I can't really describe what vibe, but just you'll know when you know.
Right.
You'll know when you know.
I totally agree with your points there. I would also want to be with someone that does not judge me for my likings, and maybe if I were to be with people that they're quite uncomfortable, it's quite
It's exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting. Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, besides the interview questions, I would also like to play a game with you of true or false. So I would say a statement about peer pressure, and I want you to guess based on your experience or maybe your opinions if they are true or false. Okay, so the first one, there's only going to be two statements, right? For a little heads up, peer pressure can be both positive and negative. Is that true or false in your opinion?
Yes, I think that's true.
Right. So, from my source, the peers actually may pressure each other into negative behaviors, but again, it could result in a positive way, right? From your experience, I would like to restate that it can actually motivates you into studying, right?
Yes, actually, that's what my friends did. Like the first midterm, that was like a couple of months ago, last year, they did like pressure. Like I felt the pressure because my friends would ask me to go like, yeah, let's go to this cafe and study, and then even if I was feeling unmotivated, I felt like I have to be as good as them, as good as them, yeah, so it impacted me in a very positive way.
Right. Okay. And for the last question will be, there is nothing parents can do to help their teenage children deal with peer pressure.
I think that's false. I think that's false.
Right, it is actually false because parents can actually has an important role to help teenage avoid peer pressure, such as build their teen self-esteem by talking to them, or maybe encourage independent thinking or decision-making skills within the family, or maybe talk through challenging situations with their teens, and also support their friendships with peers who share their family's values. Well, that actually wraps up today's interview session, and I want to thank you again for having the time to do this interview with me.
Great to be here. I'm happy to be here too, girl.
Thank you, Rooney. And I want to thank the viewers who have stayed with us throughout the video. I am Kalea Widyadhana as the interviewer. See you next time.